It is always disheartening when you outgrow your favorite article of clothing. For me, that day happened when I popped the zipper on my favorite yellow skirt. I wasn't too surprised as the skirt had been getting pretty snug over the last couple of years with recent weight gains, but I was still bummed when it happened, because it means I can't wear my favorite skirt anymore. But fortunately, there are things that can be done to adjust a skirt without needing to go on a crash diet. Hello, I'm Ariel, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to size up a skirt. Also repair a zipper. Popped zippers are a pain, because there's no real easy way to repair them. You need to pull out the entire zipper and everything around it to get at it. But the plus side is, if I'm already going to be tearing the back apart, I might as well tear the whole waistband out and resize it up to fit my current body. Or rather the body I had last year when I did these repairs. I did make a personal goal into 2024 to lose weight, and I lost about 50 pounds, so a lot of that effort I put into sizing things up were unnecessary, but they're still relevant and they're still a good teaching moment, because not everyone can just lose weight. It's hard, very hard. So rather than shame yourself and to tuck away those clothes that used to fit as a someday I'll fit into them again sort of goal, I want to show you how to size them up and to make them lovable again and to make them your favorite again. Because everyone deserves to have clothes that they love and that fit comfortably. I am very anxious to get my favorite skirt back into my wardrobe, so let us begin. Okay, right off the bat, the original linen does not match the skirt anymore. Sometime between when I made it and now, I had refreshed the color with a yellow dye bath. I totally forgot that I did that. I could dye the original linen too and hope it comes out the same color, or I could just not. Either way, that's a future Ariel decision. Right now, I got to unpick everything. I can already tell you one of my plans of attack is probably making this seam smaller. Also, I'll probably use a much longer zipper, because this is kind of a short zipper. Fun fact, nearly all the zippers I use in my garments are purchased secondhand from estate sales or thrift stores. Unless I need a very specific color or a very specific length for a project, I can usually make do with whatever I have on hand. This zipper was meant for pants, but with the wide waistband, it worked out just fine. Until it broke, obviously. It's going to take a while to unpick everything, but with Pepper's support, I can get through this tough time. She is always there to lend upon my time of need. Her encouragement knows no limits, and her care is always determined. Perhaps now is a good time for a brief skirt history. I made this skirt in May of 2020. I was feeling pretty down and homestuck, as many people were at the time. This skirt was a great distraction and was the first time I played around with making high-waisted, thick-banded skirts. And I tell you, I was so excited the first time I wore it, I didn't even finish the hem. Since its creation, I have made many a high-waisted, thick-banded skirts. They are probably my favorite style and bring me a lot of joy and comfort to wear. It's like wearing a well-worn pair of pajama bottoms or a comfort hoodie for me. I just love the way that they snug and wrap around my body. Kind of like the appeal of people who enjoy corsets because it feels like a hug. Originally it didn't have straps, but I added them later as it helps keep the wide band upright without having to use stiffeners or corset bones. Okay, so now that it is all unpicked, I've come up with a plan. I'm going to keep the extra fabric pale yellow and just add it to each side and then cover the seams with bias tape. I'm also going to carry that bias tape into the front detail to make the whole design look cohesive. I'm also hoping this will make the pale yellow fabric seem less noticeable if there's other yellows mixed into the design. Speaking of pale yellow, I found a perfect pale yellow zipper in my stash that is even a few inches longer than the old one. To start, I measured the length of the band, which is just a hair past 4.5 inches, and then I cut a piece as wide as I can make it, which ended up being a smidge over 5 inches. I didn't actually measure how wide I should be making it, I just sort of made an educated guess. The best way to cut a straight line on linen is to make a notch and then pull a single thread. Then use that new empty thread space to cut a straight line through the fabric. This just keeps everything even. With these rectangles, I fold them in half and then I fold them in half again, which gives me 4 equal pint-sized panels. 2 for the front and 2 for the lining. Next, I rip apart the side seams and pin the panels in place, then they get sewn together. I give my bias tape a quick iron flat before I top stitch them onto the front side of the waistband only. You're not going to see it on the inside, so that's just going to stay the way it is. Once that is all done, I rejoin the front and the lining pieces at the top and give it a pop on. I probably could have made the panels a 1/4 inch bigger on all sides. I'm also going to move the straps up because it feels kind of like a bustier right now. And I don't think the girls need more boosting, but I'm happy to live with this. On to the skirt resizing. I've got about 1 inch to add on each side. I did briefly consider making mini gores to add width and further make that pale yellow a design choice rather than a must. But I was already getting project fatigued and decided on a simpler solution of just unpicking a set of pleats. Because fortunately for me, I have a problem of making everything chronically slightly too big, and thus always have to resize my skirt slightly down with pleats. I realize this doesn't really help if it's a pre-made item that doesn't have pleats, but gores will help on that situation if that's what you're working with. I double-checked the alignment, which was good, after only unpicking 2 pleats. After that, I added the new zipper in place. First, by marking how far I had to unpick the back seam to accommodate the longer zipper. Then I base stitched the seam closed before top stitching the new zipper in place. Then I unpicked the bastings and there you have it, a good as new zipper. Now I just have to attach the waistband to the skirt body again. Once the waistband is sewn on the front side, I get the pleasure of rehand sewing the back side down. Also, here's when I move the straps higher up on the band. I use a simple running stitch to tack down the back. It's nothing too fancy, but it's secure and I've rarely had an issue with it coming undone. I usually take this time to catch up on my YouTube shows or my podcasts. After tacking down the waistband, I reattached the bottom buttons that I had removed earlier. And now, it's time for the reveal. And there you have it, another project down. I am so pleased with how this came out. It fit so nicely, and I'm so happy to have it back in my wardrobe. I want to wear it more. I want to wear it all the time. And I understand if you don't feel this is as helpful to you because I am altering a skirt that I made and tailored to my body originally, and it's not an off-the-rack garment, which I don't mind doing stuff like that. The only thing is I just don't have a lot of pre-made stuff anymore. I've curated my wardrobe over the years to mostly be things that I've made. However, if you would like to see me resize a off-the-rack garment, let me know in the comments below. I am not opposed to going on a little shopping spree. Please let me know if you like this sort of content. I have a ton of it in the pipeline right now because in 2024 I said I was going to mostly just work on altering. Just let me know if you're getting kind of tired of it or if there is something specific you want to see. I can also break them up into smaller chunks where I'm just doing a zipper repair, something that's easy to find if you just want one thing only. If you would appreciate that, I can do like a mini series of just doing how-tos and only focusing on that one thing and not having as much chatter in the background about my personality. But if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it heavily. It would mean the world to me and it inspires me to keep creating these videos. If you would like to follow me on socials, I do have an Instagram account at snowmanleopard, And I have a Ko-fi account that is free. You can follow me on there to get behind the scenes updates and sneak peeks of what's coming down the pipeline. Alright, I think that's it. And until next time, you have a good day. Bye! So check out this neck ruffle. Isn't this cute? Yeah, no. Don't look at my stuff. It was supposed to be a cape, but I ran out of yarn. I absolutely love it, and I had bought 2 balls of yarn for this and a ball of yarn for this, and they're all like, I think this was 25 and these were 36, so it was a little on the spendy side. I got a little overzealous when I went shopping for the first time for yarn. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have this like Victorian ruff because I can't afford another ball of yarn. Anyway, thank you.